Our mission today is really laser focused.
Mm,
We are diving deep into just one piece of source material,
just
an
one.
extremely efficient at-home upper body strength plan. It's known in its full regimen as Day 16.
Yeah, and this isn't just another workout list. It's more like a blueprint for, high impact fitness design when you have very little time.
That's it, exactly.
So if you're trying to understand how to get the most out of minimal resources, this deep dive is going to be incredibly valuable.
That's the real hook, right? The core appeal is that you can get this comprehensive upper body strength. We're talking arms, shoulders, back, chest,
All the big ones.
all of them with, and this is the key, zero specialized equipment.
Yeah.
This is knowledge you can apply the second we're done talking.
What's fascinating to me is the programming, the design behind it. They deliberately focused on compound movements and just clever body weight leverage to hit every major muscle group
So they basically get around the need for a whole gym setup.
entirely,
Yeah,
just
right.
by using gravity and things you already have in your house.
Okay, so our blueprint for today is to break down this whole routine, which, I mean, it fits into what, maybe 15
It's
minutes?
about that, yeah.
And we're going to cover 4 clear phases. The warm-up, the strength circuit, which is really the main event, then this high-intensity finisher, and finally, the cool down.
And that structure is so important. It's the key to its success. It respects your time, which means you're more likely to actually do it, but it also makes sure everything is activated safely.
All right, let's start at the foundation, the gear list, or, well, the lack of one.
Right.
The source just says no equipment or water bottles, optional. That lack of friction, that's probably its most powerful feature.
That simplicity is huge because it just lowers the barrier to entry so much. But let's look at that little note. Water bottles, optional.
Okay.
That small detail is actually a really elegant introduction to the idea of progressive overload.
So as you get stronger.
Exactly. You graduate from, just air resistance to holding a bottle of water, then maybe something heavier like a jug of milk. It's a built-in way to add resistance without ever needing to buy a dumbbell.
I see. That makes perfect sense.
Okay.
Okay, now, onto the prep. The 3-minute warm-up. It's a really rapid sequence.
Very quick.
We got 30 seconds of arm circles, 30 seconds of shoulder rolls, then 30 seconds of wall push-ups, 30 of torso twists, and it finishes with a minute of just marching in place.
So those first two, the circles and rolls, that's just about lubricating the shoulder joint, making sure that ball and socket has a full range of motion before you start putting any load on it.
Standard mobility stuff.
Right. It's fundamental for preventing shoulder impingement later on.
But then we get to the wall push-ups. 30 seconds pushing against a wall feels, well, it feels almost too easy. Why dedicate a whole 30 seconds to that?
That's actually a really clever pre-activation technique. The wall push-up is basically sending a signal to your nervous system. It's saying, hey, we're about to use the chest and triceps.
So it's like a little wake-up call for the muscles.
A wake-up call, exactly. You're gently warming up the muscle fibers without tiring them out. And that neural priming makes the real push-ups in the main circuit way more effective.
Which sets the stage perfectly for that main event, the upper body strength circuit.
Right, and this is where the programming logic really shines.
The whole thing is built around 3 total rounds, with a strict 40 seconds of work, followed by 20 seconds of rest.
That 2-to-1 work-to-rest ratio.
It seems pretty intense. I mean, if you're building pure strength, you usually rest for minutes, not seconds. What's this specific ratio trying to achieve?
That's a great question, and it really gets to the goal of the program. That 40.20 ratio is designed for strength endurance.
Okay, not pure power.
No, not 1 rep max power. It creates significant metabolic stress. By keeping the rest short, you force your body to keep working while lactate levels are high, which is just fantastic for conditioning and toning.
So you're pushing the muscle to fatigue quickly.
Very quickly, which is why the exercises are paired so intelligently.
Let's break down those pairings. We start with exercises 1 and 2, the big push movements.
Yeah.
First, standard push-ups, hitting the chest, triceps, and shoulders.
The gold standard. A classic horizontal push. And you immediately have a metric for improvement, right? If you can only do 6 reps in that 40 seconds, you have a clear goal for next time.
And right after the push-ups, you move to tricep dips using a chair or a table. This is for arm toning and shaping the triceps.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, this pairing is just smart fatigue management. You've already hit the triceps in the push-up,
Right.
but the dip works them from a totally different angle, a vertical push. So by hitting the same muscle with 2 different movements back to back, you get maximum fiber recruitment before you rest.
Total efficiency.
That's the name of the game.
Okay, so after hitting the front of the body that hard, the routine switches immediately to stability and posture. This is the part most people skip.
Oh, absolutely.
Exercise 3 is the Superman hold.
And this is non-negotiable. It's listed specifically to strengthen the lower back, glutes, and posture. After all that pushing, if you don't do something for your posterior chain, you're just asking for that classic desk slump.
Rounded shoulders, head forward.
Exactly. The Superman hold strengthens the muscles responsible for pulling your shoulders back into proper alignment.
Okay, so that's the counterbalance. Then exercise 4 is the shoulder tap. You're in a high plank, tapping opposite shoulders.
And that is pure anti-rotation work. Your body naturally wants to twist when you lift one hand off the ground.
So your core has to fight that twist.
Your core has to fight it. It has to stay rigid like a pillar. And think about it this way. Your strongest push-up is only as strong as your core's ability to stabilize. The shoulder tap trains that stability.
That's a great way to put it. You're training the core to support the push.
Yeah.
Okay, so we wrap the circuit with the last 2 exercises, pulling and rear shoulder health. First, biceps curls with those optional water bottles.
Pulling strength is so fundamental. I mean, we spend all day pushing, typing on a keyboard, reaching for things. We do very few natural pulling motions.
Sweet.
So even with a little weight, biceps curls start to reverse that imbalance. It protects your elbow and shoulder joints.
And the final one, this one is fascinating. Reverse snow angels, done lying on the floor. The name itself is great.
It's a genius name. It makes a complex movement totally accessible.
The source says it targets the upper back, rear shoulders, and posture muscles. Let's unpack that.
So what they're really asking you to do is what an anatomy text might call a multi-vector scapular activation sequence. You're making Y, T, W, and L shapes with your arms.
Okay, just so you listening are clear. Y is arms up at an angle. T is straight out to the sides.
W is elbows bent and pulled back, and L is an internal rotation.
And those are all the small movements we miss.
They're the ones we miss. And they target the tiny stabilizer muscles around your shoulder blades, your rear delts, your lower traps. You can think of them as your body's posture police.
I like that.
They're essential for long-term shoulder health.
Which brings us to phase 3, the finisher. It's only 2 minutes long, but this is where the intensity just skyrockets.
It's built around that aim rep concept, as many rounds as possible.
And this is the conditioning part.
This is where you burn the maximum calories. It's short, it's sharp, and it is brutal.
The ANRAP set is a rapid-fire combo.
Huh.
10 push-ups, 20 mountain climbers, and then 10 tricep dips. You just cycle through that for 2 straight minutes. I mean, that sounds like your arms will just give out in the first 60 seconds.
And that's kind of the point. But it's a brilliant design. The 10 push-ups will fatigue your chest and triceps right away.
Of course.
But then the 20 mountain climbers do 2 things. First, they spike your heart rate to max cardio output. But second, they act as a kind of active rest for your upper body.
Active rest? How?
While your legs and core are driving the climbers, your arms are just stabilizing. They get just enough blood flow to flush out some of that lactic acid.
Oh, I see. So the climbers secretly give your triceps just enough of a break?
Just enough of a break to be able to tackle the 10 tricep dips that come next.
Wow.
And that third movement, the dips, you're doing it under immense systemic fatigue. Your whole body is tired.
Yeah.
That maximizes the metabolic demand and pushes your strength endurance threshold even further.
So you finish completely taxed, both muscularly and cardiovascularly.
That's the goal.
And because that finisher is so aggressive, the cool down becomes absolutely non-negotiable.
You cannot skip it. It's a vital part of recovery. If you do, you're just limiting your body's ability to adapt and you're going to be unnecessarily stiff.
The sequence is very specific. 30 seconds of a shoulder stretch, 30 for an overhead tricep stretch, and 30 for a chest stretch.
Focusing on those primary pushing muscles is key. You're restoring mobility and preventing that tight, forward pulling posture that you can get after a hard upper body day.
And it ends with 30 seconds of cat-cow. Which brings us right back to spinal health, doesn't it?
It brings it all full circle. It reinforces the whole purpose of the workout. This isn't just a random list of exercises. It's a really strategic sequence.
Using minimal resources.
Your body, a chair, maybe some water to maximize strength, stability, and maybe most importantly, the health of your posture muscles.
The efficiency and accessibility of this day 16 routine really is what sets it apart. It's hard to find an excuse not to do a routine that takes, 15 minutes and requires nothing you don't already have.
It really proves that smart programming is way more valuable than fancy equipment.
And as you think about this deep dive, maybe consider incorporating it into your life. Here's a final thought for you to mull over.
Okay.
Given that heavy emphasis on posture, the Superman hold, the reverse snow angels, Think about how just integrating those two specific movements into your daily routine could impact your productivity and energy before you even commit to the full workout.
So just doing those two moves periodically.
Yeah. Could spending just 60 seconds every hour to reinforce your posture police drastically change how you feel at the end of a long workday?
That's a great thought. A small postural tweak can have massive physiological effects on everything from breathing to fatigue. Definitely something to think about.
Until next time, stay well informed and go move.